progress with this Eureka Altima. Not quite done yet, but the main body here is done. Still have to put my quick wax on it, but that's about it. But obviously I took out all this. I took off this yellow piece, and then I was able to take out this inner piece and clean it out real well, clean up behind it, because there was always dust like slightly back here that I couldn't get, but you could still see it. All the back is nice and clean. I had to use like a more aggressive cleaner because I want to make sure it's a very nice clean surface when I put quick wax on there, so it actually looks good. Motor shaft here. The motor on this seems to be healthy. I'll run it for you guys real quick. I took this yellow piece off, washed it, we'll pop the switch out, washed it. So it should end up smelling better too. Never really smelled bad. It's just my grandparents' house gets really dusty, so it kind of just smelled like dust. So that sound you hear is a vibration somewhere, and I'm not sure where. It could be this. It sounds like a vibration. It doesn't sound like the motor. It sounds like it's vibrating somewhere. I don't know. The motor seems to sound pretty... Yeah, that like... That... The motor itself sounds fine. I think it's a vibration somewhere that's making it sound worse. This thing is old, and these Eurekas were, no matter how much I love this thing, I still have to admit that they're not as well built as the Bissells in terms of sturdiness. I mean, this thing is pretty sturdy, and it's held up really well. That's an 05. This is an 06. It is still doing well, but it's got more creaky. Like this still. I should use this hose, and it does bend a little bit, but yeah. But this one's more or less just creaky and brittle, kind of like the smart. Sorry, hiccups. Kind of like the Smart Vac. But anyways, this video is going to be an after alert with the 6594. You guys were there. A lot of you guys might have watched the video yesterday on these random scuffs in the cord that I found. I can't say it enough. I don't think they were from me, but they very well could have been. And if they were, shame on me. Because I've always talked shit on people for running over their cords. But usually they just have no shame when they do it. If I did that, I would literally... If I for sure knew that I did that, I would feel like shit, because it sucks to replace cords, because a lot of times you can't find the proper one, because these older Bissells had a different type of cord. Damn! This thing's actually got some pretty good airflow density. Because usually vacuums, a lot of vacuums I own have really decent airflow. Like That Altima actually has pretty decent airflow. The density on the airflow is bad because it's all the way to the freaking right. So that this Altima doesn't seal itself to the floor without as much as this thing does, especially since on these bissells, the suction port is right there, and the Altima, it's all the way over here. You gotta think it's kind of sad because these were cheaper than the Altimas, and this was sold. This is what Bissell was selling around the same time that that's what Eureka was selling. Alright, that's what it picked up. Sand and fine dust. I did make my own little post motor filter thing, obviously the normal one, and then I also made out of the old post motor filter, I cut a little circle. You can see how much it's already caught. I cleaned it again yesterday. You can see it was like totally white with dust, and that really sucks because I don't want to take this down to the motor, but I also want to use it, so that's kind of the thing that sucks about it. Usually what I do after each use is I just take off the post motor filter and then I just let it run and exhaust any dust so they can kind of blow any dust that's loose in there. There's probably already dust in there from Andrew, owners before him, because he actually used this too, from what I remember him saying. I really like it though. I love the blue color scheme, and then it's also in very good condition. Doesn't have much friction down here, and this doesn't go on the outside of the lower hose, it goes inside the lower hose. So what I can do for that is I can just put some tape around the end of it here, some electrical tape, and that'll create some more friction. I'm just gonna get one of those Chinese combo tools, literally the same thing, just not the ones that were made in Korea. But yeah, so this thing seems to run pretty well. I barely had to do anything to it. All I did when I first got this from him was wash it. I basically just cleaned out the whole bin setup because that's all it needed. And then cleaned up behind the bin setup. But I kind of actually got this to use it. Not a lot of people can dog on me for that all you want, but it may be collectible, but I still see these around enough to the point where it doesn't affect me too much. Plus, if I were to fuck up the motor on it, which is the most that could happen, I see motors for these all the time. Which, I've seen messed up motors on the Power Force bagless designs, but it was more common with the Clean View and the Power Room setup with the foam tray and shit. But yeah. But I really like this thing so far. Hasn't given me any issues. It's basically the same thing as my Clean View 2. Yes, your dirty gets back in there. It basically is the same thing as my Clean View 2, but it's got the wide path base, and it has this different HEPA filter design, which is why I bought it. It's literally just because of that different HEPA filter design, and the blue. And a different handle design. This handle is definitely more comfortable. This has got to be one of the most comfortable handles in my collection. I really like the handle on this. Got the V2 on the podium here. I'm gonna clean it up a little bit, and then I'm gonna start doing videos with this. Obviously, before this, it was the Victory. Go back, this one, which I already did the demo video for. I just gotta post the demo video. So, yeah. But now the V2 is on the podium. So, yeah. I don't know when you guys are going to see this video. There are so much videos I am behind on. I'm one of those people that makes a lot of videos, but then never posts them. So, yeah. But anyways, hope you guys enjoyed this video. Stay tuned for more. Peace.